to, there you go. Instagram is a little bit centered now. All right. Welcome, everybody. Just want to introduce myself. My name is Ozzy Simoes, and right now this live is pretty much just being recorded for my friends and family, people on Facebook and Instagram that follow me, and YouTube. I only have literally 13 subscribers right now. It's a brand new YouTube account, and so not too many people are aware of this, but just want to get started. And the question, if you saw my ad that announcing this live, I basically get that camera recording as well. Sorry about that. I basically want to talk to you about small businesses and how to grow your small business. So is it possible to grow your small business in 2020? All right. So I just want to make sure that the sound is on all of these things. I actually have to, nobody's on chat here. Just checking. I hope that the sound is good and rolling on all of these devices, and that everything is rolling well. Okay. So as we wait for people to come in, there's a couple of people here, a couple of people there. And as people come in, we shall get started here in about a minute. And again, we are talking about small business growth in 2020. Is it possible? Is it possible to grow your business in 2020? All right. So the quality of the video on YouTube is probably not going to be very good because I'm actually using my my MacBook. For some reason, they didn't allow me to live stream on my phone. I know I don't have 1,000, 1,000 subscribers yet, and that's what's required. But when I went on my laptop, it allows me to live. So I am going to just take advantage of what I can do right now. I'm not using the phone, but I'm using the phone for Facebook and for Instagram. All right, everybody. So is it possible to grow your business in 2020? So there's one thing that I want to teach you today, one thing I want to talk to you about. And first of all, it's important that you understand why I'm doing this. I wrote a book, which is right here. Okay. The Small Business Destruction Guide. This book, I actually wrote the outline of this book around 2012. I only wrote it this year. At the beginning of this year, I started writing it. And when COVID-19 hit, it was actually, and it was somewhat of an advantage for me because I was able to take the time to lock myself up in one of my businesses that was closed and pretty much start. I was kind of about a third of the way down on the of writing the book, and I was able to just finish it fairly quickly because I had a lot of time to focus on just writing the book. In one of my other businesses, my main business, it did decline at first. Business did decline, but then it took off as normal after a few weeks. But I'm sure a lot of you that have small businesses had the same situation, the same problem that happened. But, I was able to write this book fairly quickly. It took me just a few weeks to write it. And the reason I wrote this book was, and obviously I started writing this, I had it planned to write this long before COVID hit. This is in January when I started kind of planning on all this that I'm starting up right now. And then eventually when COVID hit, then I was just, okay, I had no idea what was going to happen. I had no idea that everything was going to take as long as it did. I guess nobody really did. And the important thing is that when I had the idea, the vision of writing this book in 2012, it was because I had been in contact with a number of businesses, some of them friends, some of them, people that I knew, some of them that pretty much I was a customer of in 2008 with the crash of the stock market. and all the markets around the world, and the housing market, not really the stock market, but the housing market is kind of what messed things up. And so a lot of businesses closed and were closing, still closing in 2012. And I was just frustrated because I realized that there's a lot of businesses that really didn't have to close down. They didn't have to close down because they basically were good businesses with a good product, good services. But I realized that it was the mentalities, the principles that these business owners were living by that were not very good. And what happened was that the businesses would suffer and then eventually close because of that. So but I wrote the outline of the book. So if you literally, if you purchase this book, if you have purchased it, I know a lot of people have bought it already, but and you go into my contents, you'll realize that the whole contents. That's what I wrote in 2012. Obviously, I took a few things off that I had planned on writing, a few topics off, but in general, 90% of what I wrote down in 2012 is what is in the book. Here's the thing. I wrote it because I have a dream, a passion of helping businesses. I always have. Whether I was pretty much working for a boss when I was employed as an employee, or whether I was in one of my own businesses, I always wanted to help small businesses, especially, and I'll tell you a little bit more about small businesses in a second, that I found out when I was just after I wrote the book. But basically, the thing is, I'm gonna have to have some water because I'm getting my dry here. Basically, what I learned was that a lot of small businesses were suffering unnecessarily because of simple principles, guys, that the business owners were kind of practicing and going through that caused their businesses to fail. So I'm here not to promote this book. I do recommend that you get it if you're a small business owner. I've had a lot of feedback from small business owners. I've had a couple of critics, that have read the book and actually told me that it was a very good book and they're learning a lot from it. So it's very, very easy to read. It's a very easy to read book. The topics are very short. And I just basically tell stories of all these small business owners and the mistakes that they made. But is it possible to grow your business in 2020? And there's just one very simple factor, one very simple principle, one very simple thing that has to happen, change, that has to be in place for you to be able to succeed in 2020 or not to succeed. Now, I have to be realistic in the sense that some businesses that are possibly even open right now, still open, even especially 3, 4, 5 months, whatever, since COVID-19 has hit, and still open, but are still very frail, very weak. Sometimes businesses that close, especially in a pandemic, a situation like this, 2008, 1929, when the Great Depression started, all the way, I think it was till 1932 or 33. Businesses that are weak will almost automatically be, destroyed by a situation like we're going through now. So if that is your business, where before the pandemic, it was, struggling, it was weak, there was no cash flow, there was no profit. Some business owners are taking money out of their pockets to keep their businesses going. If that's a situation, what happens is something like a pandemic comes along, and what happens is, you shut down. There's nothing left. You can't recover, because it was already weak. Is it possible to recover in a situation like that? Yeah, I believe it's possible. If you've got some type of an infusion of income, of money to sustain you, then yeah, the government has tried to help out with that. We can't really rely on the government. I just want to, give you a little bit of an enlightenment right there, because we just can't really rely on the government to be taking care of our businesses all the time and to give us the bailouts. But the important thing to understand is, if you have a business that was already weak, the pandemic might just wipe it out. I'm not going to say it is 100% possible that you're going to get wiped out. Only you know that. But there is one thing, and this one thing, you got to stick with me, because I'm going to reveal it to you in a minute. Okay, this one thing is what I believe will determine whether you will make it or not. Okay, so I'm trying to look at all three cameras. I got all three of cameras in different positions, but one very, very simple thing, and I want you to understand something about life. Life is actually simple. Simple doesn't mean that it's easy, okay? But if you consistently go around and you say, well, life is hard, life is heavy, life is miserable, then that's what it's going to be for you. Everything that I'm telling you right here has got to do with this one very important principle that I believe if you understand it and you change it or apply it to your life, this one principle will determine whether your business will grow or not in 2020. Very, very simple. Okay. So, what is this principle? Let me reveal it to you right now. What is this principle? What is this one very, very simple thing that can make or break your business in 2020? Okay. And that very simple thing is called mindset. Mindset. I've been studying about mindset probably for many, many years. In fact, when I first came to the United States in 1990, okay, I lived in Manhattan. And at the time, my girlfriend, because I came from South Africa, I'm from South Africa, for those of you that don't know, I came from South Africa, and I came with my girlfriend, and at my girlfriend's father's home, that's, we stayed in his apartment in New York, in Manhattan, he had two books, and I read both his books. For people that know me, know and understand that I was not a fond reader. Now, just last year, I read over 30 books, just, to prepare for what I'm kind of doing now. But the first two books that I read were books that changed and established a mindset in me that I did not have when I was living in South Africa, because of, the way I was brought up and so on. I had different mindsets. I have different mentalities, different principles, different ways of looking at life. When I read these two books, both of them open up my mind, and that's what a mindset is. It sets in when you have a mindset that it changes things. It's a mindset. It sets itself in place. Now, you can have mindsets that are good and mindsets that are bad. Okay, I'm not going to talk about bad mindsets. I think you'll gather, and I'm sure everybody that's watching here is smart and wise enough to understand that bad mindsets are not going to get you anywhere in life, and you definitely don't want them in business. But you may have some bad mindsets that are actually hurting your business, and that's what I'm here to help you change, is to change the mindset. So let's get back to COVID-19. COVID-19 is a simple mindset. I've spoken to some people and even people that are close to me, and when I talk about my mindset, sometimes people don't understand. People think that I just there's a big white elephant and I'm ignoring it. No, do not ignore COVID-19. COVID-19 is not to be ignored. It's not something that is not non-existent. Yes, it exists. It's happening. It's happening all over the world. Okay. But what is your mindset based on COVID-19? Is your mindset of COVID-19 hit, I'm done, my business is going to go, into the gutters, I'm going to close down, I can't handle this, I can't keep up payroll, I can't keep, the business running no matter what kind of business you have. Well, then that's the mindset you have. That's what's going to happen. that is what you're going to reap, because you're sowing that mindset. I can't get, there's a big boulder. COVID-19 came, and a big boulder that is now sitting in front of your path of, the road that you were going down on January 2020, February 2020, beginning of the year, everybody's very excited. You've got your New Year's resolutions, you got everything rolling and cruising, and all of a sudden, this big boulder comes and, hits the path that you're heading down. What's your mindset? Do you just sit there, look at this boulder? Unfortunately, a lot of business owners that I've seen and spoken with, that's their mindset. They're standing in front of this boulder, waiting for somebody to come and move it from within them, from in front of them. And unfortunately, I have to tell you, maybe eventually somebody will come and move this boulder from in front of your business. Some of you may have had restrictions lifted. I know that right here in Massachusetts, the governor keeps on, putting in these restrictions and stuff like that. People are coming out of state, stuff like that. I'll tell you one of the things, the main thing that I did months ago already. I think I only watched the news for this COVID-19 situation after I wrote the book, was when I was writing the book, the first, because I started, when COVID-19 really, really hit was, I think, at the end of March, towards the end of March. I took another couple of weeks to finish writing the book. And so now in the middle of April, okay, so by the end of April, then I was editing and so on. I really had no time to watch the news, but I would watch the news because I was kind of, curious and interested in what was going on and how this is all affecting us. But eventually, and then I spent probably about a month following up on the news, keeping up with the news at night before I'd go to bed, watch the news. And then eventually I realized and understood that what the news was doing is destroying my mindset. It was actually fixating and grounding that actual boulder called COVID-19, and it was actually spreading every opportunity of me either going around, over, under. It was blocking everything, because the news only really sells when it's negative, when it's hype, when it's, does it mean that there's no COVID-19? Absolutely not. Don't get me wrong. I have to explain this to people. It does not mean that there is no COVID-19. All it means is that you have to figure out a way around the boulder. Now, if you're watching the news, what's going to happen is you are going to be blocked, because the news is literally firming and confirming that in your path. So if the amount of people that are dying around the world, and God bless the families of all those people that are losing family members, that are losing friends, loved ones, honestly, my heart goes out to everybody. Very close to me, there hasn't been anybody that has, I've had friends that have gotten the virus, but fortunately recovered from it. But family and other friends, fortunately, nobody else has kind of gotten it. But everybody knows somebody that has passed away with COVID-19. But let me ask you this, as a small business owner and also as a non-small business owner, okay? Because I know that whoever's on here right now, not everybody may have a business. But here's the thing. Whether you have a business or not, what is it going to change personally in your life or your business? The amount of people that are dying around the world, in your state, in your town, in your country, in your neighborhood. What is it going to change? How is that positively going to impact your business? Unless you're a funeral home and you have to prepare for all the deaths in your neighborhood, I can't think of a reason why your business or you should study and remember and be up to date on all the unfortunate deaths that are going on around the world with COVID-19. So the news, okay, and then also with all the politics going around, okay, really, it's an election year in the United States of America. What do you think the politicians are doing? They're taking advantage of the most important, the biggest thing that's going on, not only in this country, but around the world, in order to push their ideas, their whatever. Everybody wants a solution. And the ones that find the solutions, that fight for the solutions, that argue for the solutions, that whatever for the solutions, are going to win the elections. Listen, it doesn't matter who's president, who becomes president in the beginning of November. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what party is going to come in or go out. It has absolutely no. Listen, whether the existing president stays or whether the next president comes, your business is still run by you or you or you. Okay, 3 cameras going on here. It's just going to be you and your employees and whatever. They're going to make their legislation. They're going to make their rules. They're going to change this. They're going to change that. They're going to get, a vaccine or not get a vaccine. It doesn't matter. It literally does not matter, because you still have to run your business and sell your products or services. That's it. So mindset, folks, mindset. If your mindset is focused on this stuff, you are going to be stuck with this boulder in front of you. And the longer you watch the news and the more you watch the news, the more you're going to get stuck there. I will literally guarantee it. I do not know of anybody that is watching the news and that isn't petrified, fearful, concerned, losing sleep, whatever. And let me tell you something else about the news and, the hype. You can research this. I've been telling people this for weeks, for months. It's very simple. You watch the news, your stress level goes up, because the news the news can only sell their viewers, or they only get viewers when, imagine a newscast or a television station that only broadcasts good news, happy things that are going on around the world. Nobody's going to watch it. Nobody watches it. Look at the movies that are being produced every day. It's crime, it's blood, it's all of this stuff. So the comedy movies, I haven't really looked at the stats, but I think that if you take the amount of comedy movies that come out compared to the amount of, horror and blood and violence movies, I'm just going to make a guess. It's probably 10-1. All right. So that's what the news sells. Here's the thing. If you keep watching the news is going to increase your stress. Stress, okay, lowers your immune system. When your immune system gets low, if you get close to somebody that has COVID-19, chances are you're going to get it because you're already stressed. You're already worried. You're already concerned. And that's what causes all the problems. Now, it's up to you. You have a small business. If you're a small business owner, my suggestion to you is turn off the TV and focus on your business. Change your mindset. The only way to change your mindset is what you're putting into your mind. There's 2 types of mindsets, an open mindset and a closed mindset. A lot of times people believe that, I was born poor, therefore I cannot be successful. I was born in a certain country. I was born with a certain color. I was born with... And then that is a closed mindset, because you can't, if that's your mindset, how on earth are you going to grow and prosper and all of that? It's very, very difficult unless or until you change your mindset. So when you change your mindset, it opens up your mind to be able to learn things that are more relevant, are more useful, are more positive for your business. And once that happens, then you start opening up ideas. Then you start figuring out there's this boulder right here. And this boulder, okay, can be chipped away. I can find a path around it on the left, maybe the right. Let's climb up the boulder and look to see how high it is. Maybe it's not that high. My eye can only see that far, but hey, I can maybe get over this boulder. Listen, you may just have to dig under the boulder. You see, if your mindset is, I want an easy life, I want a simple life, I want a life that has no challenges, that's a closed mindset. Okay. Chances are you're going to sit right there looking at the boulder with a TV next to it. Okay. This is going to be the boulder. There's going to be a TV next to it. You're looking for instructions from the TV. Okay. From the cable network. And you're going to wait until the politicians, the whatever is going to, come and remove this boulder from you. Look, if you're waiting for a vaccine, it's just, for your business to get off the ground. The question I asked for this video, the topic of this video, will my business grow in 2020? It's not going to happen. I'll guarantee you. If you're waiting for a vaccine, I'm going to tell you right now, chance. So if your business grows, if you're waiting in front of the boulder, okay, and you're waiting for this boulder to be moved, whether it's by politicians or whoever is going to, your neighbor, your friend, a millionaire, a billionaire, whoever is going to come and move this boulder out of the way. And if you can prove to me by the end of the year, by the end of 2020, December 31st, that your business grew and that's what you did, I want you to be in contact with me because I want to see what, obviously you're going to enlighten me and many people that I'm going to be able to help and work with over this time. Okay. So change your mindset, folks. I want to introduce you to somebody. Okay. And it just came to me this morning when I was in my office and getting some stuff to come and do this live. And this is one of my heroes, one of the people that I most admire on the face of this planet. Why? Because of his mindset. This guy, all right, let me put this up over here. That's Instagram first. I don't know if you know this guy. His name is Nick Vujicic. Okay. YouTube, Nick Vujicic. And Facebook, Nick Vujicic. All right. I don't know if you know Nick Vujicic, but Google his name. Okay. Nick, N-I-C-A-C-K. And then Vujicic is, I believe, V-U-J-I-C-I-C. Okay. Nick Vujicic. Watch a couple of videos of this guy. If this guy doesn't inspire you, if this guy doesn't change your mindset, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care if you're a business owner or not, you will not succeed in life. If this guy does not inspire you, now he's a preacher, you may not be a Christian, you may not believe in God, you may not believe in Jesus. That's what he does. That's what he preaches, okay? Because one day he realized that God didn't punish him. God didn't curse him. He has no arms and no legs. For those of you that don't know Nick Vujicic, okay, he has no arms, he has no legs. He has, in my opinion, inspired more people and been to more places to preach about Jesus. He's been in communist countries. He's been in countries that no other preacher has ever gone to because he has no arms and no legs. Obviously, these countries don't see him as a threat to them, okay? But this guy is a guy whose mindset, okay, changed one day in his life. He realized that he didn't have arms. He was born with no arms and no legs. And he realized that, hey, he's got some limitations. The name of his organization is Life Without Limbs. Okay. And, I'm not here preaching or teaching about Nick Vujicic. No. If you can get inspired with a guy that has no arms and no legs, and he has done things that I haven't done, he's surfed. Okay, he's jumped out of, is parachuted. Okay, things that are on my bucket list. Okay, he's gone places that I haven't. I've traveled to a lot of countries, a lot of places, but nowhere close to where he's been. Okay, and he preaches, and every time he preaches, people listen to him. Why? Because he has a story to tell, and because he did not sit with the mindset that, oh well, woe is me, I'm just going to live my life, a miserable life in a wheelchair, okay, and somebody else taking care of me. Listen, this guy got married. He got married, okay, with a beautiful, beautiful wife. His wife is very pretty, okay. My wife is gorgeous as well. No woman on the face of the earth is more beautiful than my wife. So, okay, but his wife is pretty, okay. And just before I came down to the studio to record this, I Googled him because I wanted to see the name, how to spell his name so I didn't get it wrong on the video. But I knew he had 2 kids. He's now got 4 kids, guys. Looks like he's had twins recently. There's two twin baby girls, I think. Two twin baby girls, identical twins, that are on the picture with him and his wife. So how can a guy without arms, without legs, okay, not only impact millions and millions of people around the world and get married and have kids? You know why? Mindset. Your business will only grow in 2020 depending on your mindset. Okay? Whatever you say to yourself and whatever you verbalize with your mouth is the truth. Well, this is it's a horrible day. Well, you're gonna have a horrible day. I remember when I used to work in an office. Okay, this is back in late 1990s. I used to work in an office, and I've always looked at people's natures and human nature with always a very, all right, looks like we're connected back again on Facebook. Somehow that dropped. But anyway, what was amazing was I'd go into the office, and like I was just saying, it's cold here in New England. It gets very cold, all right? And those of you that live here obviously know that. But when the days that it was cold, people would come into the office and they'd be complaining. Oh, it's freezing outside. Oh, I can't handle the cold. It's so cold. It's cold. I got into my car. The car was freezing. Took me 10 minutes to warm up the car. And, then I had to clear off the ice and the snow and this and that. They have a miserable day. These people would have a miserable day because they started off complaining about the cold. Then the summer hits. And the summers here can get warm like it is now. I love the summer. I'm going to live in the summer forever one day, okay? But I love the cold too. I'll tell you about that in a second. So here's the thing. In the summer, the same people would come into the office and just complain all day. Oh, it's so hot outside. I'm so glad I'm in the air conditioner. Oh, if this air conditioner breaks down in this office, I'm not coming to work. I'm going to go straight home because it's so hot. It's so humid. It's so this. It's so that. Mindset. I think for many, many years now, I've made my mind like a thermostat. I remember in South Africa, just thinking about South Africa right now, I'm talking about many years ago. I was a teenager. I would purposely, and if there's any of my family listening here, okay, they remember, I would purposely in Johannesburg go out in the winter in shorts and a t-shirt. Purposely, okay? And sometimes it would get down to, in Celsius, like 0 degrees Celsius. Sometimes, 3, 4, 5 degrees Celsius. It's cold, right? It's freezing, all right? Fahrenheit, when it would get down to 33, 0 in Celsius, okay? And then, if it would be like in 34, 35, 40 degrees, it's pretty cold. I would purposely walk around in shorts. Why? Because I would force my mind to accept the cold. And so now I don't allow my body to be thrown off by temperatures and situations. So that's mindset, folks. When you set your mind on something, you in essence are not influenced by outside things. So for your small business, what I encourage you to do is the following. Figure out your mindset. I'm going to be having these lives. So I'm pretty much announcing it right now. I'm going to have these lives. I want to have them daily. And I'm going to have them at different times. And I'm going to keep them recorded. And I'm going to try to, spread it around. And I want you right now, wherever you are, to please like, to please subscribe, to please follow, whatever. On Facebook, for example, I'm not going to be doing this on my personal page for much longer. I'll do it because that's where everybody is. I want you to go on my pages, and where it's Ozzy Simoes, go. It's yours for the taking. That's the page I'm going to be broadcasting my lives as soon as enough people have signed up over there. So just go there and live. But then eventually I'm going to phase out Facebook. I'm probably just going to go on just so that I can announce the lives. And then I'm going to exclusively keep it on YouTube and Instagram. Okay. Eventually I'm just going to be on YouTube and Instagram because that's where the platforms, especially YouTube, has a lot more tools that I can use in order to teach you what I want to teach. Okay. So I'm going to be able to share the screen. I'm going to be able to do a bunch of stuff that even Instagram doesn't allow. So the important thing is this: please like, share. If you know people that are business owners, I have a lot to teach because for many, many years, I've not only been practicing what I want to teach you, but I've also been teaching this, but in a very small settings to independent people, to the companies I consult with. And I eventually want to be able to teach this. Somebody told me recently, is Ozzy, you like a jetliner, okay, whose wings are full of gas, and you just haven't taken off yet. You haven't made a decision to take off. Okay, this was one of my mentors. And when I heard that, I kind of was like, oh, what are you talking about? And then I started thinking about what he said, and I realized that, I kind of feel like I always want to fill up the wings. Listen, I got to the point that everything that I wanted to learn, I've learned. There's a lot more that I'm learning every single day. I read at least a book a week now, okay? And everything I want to learn is still in front of me, but there's a lot of stuff that I've learned, and I want to be able to take off on this jetliner, take as many people as I can with me, because I have a goal. My goal is, I have a dream that by the end of 2020, okay, and it's up here on a board that I have, by the end of 2020, I want to help at least minimum 100 businesses grow, okay? And that's by having daily lives. That's by, these lives are going to be in English, as it is right now, okay? They're going to be in Spanish, and they're going to be in Portuguese, okay? That's one of the things that kind of, if you're spiritual, you'll understand that I was told, listen, you speak 3 languages. That's a differentiating factor between you and everybody else. Nobody else is doing lives in 3 languages. Nobody else is teaching businesses. Nobody else is consulting with businesses in 3 languages. I can do that with 3 languages in any type of business. So I'm going to be doing lives in English, Portuguese, and Spanish. So if you know anybody, okay, that is a business owner, okay, and I know that these videos are going around the world. I have friends and people that follow me in Europe, in South Africa, obviously, in Brazil, in Mexico. I've got a lot of Mexican friends, and down in Central America. So if you know people that speak Spanish that would be better served if they were to listen to business teachings and business mentorship in Spanish or in Portuguese, then go ahead, share it with those people that you know. All right, send them, a message, a link to these videos, whatever it is, and then I will be able to help them as well. So my goal, like I said, I have a dream, is to be able to have minimum 100 businesses. And what's helping? Well, I want to be able to, number one, change the mindset. Tomorrow, I'm going to teach you about something else. I'm going to announce it, okay? And actually, after this, I'm going to announce the time of the live. The live tomorrow is actually going to be at 6 p.m., all right? I've chosen to have that at 6 p.m. And then at 7 p.m., it's going to be in Spanish. And at 8 p.m., it's going to be in Portuguese, all right? So 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. on Tuesday, okay, which is going to be the 28th, okay, July 28th. I'm going to do 3 lives in 3 businesses, and I'm going to be able to reach as many people as I can tomorrow. So the only way I'm going to do that is if you like, subscribe, share, okay? Help me out, guys, encourage me, because I have a lot to teach, and I want to be able to teach you every day. So finally, with regards to mindset, okay, right here, I have something on my waist that I want to be able to show you and teach you a little bit about mindset. And hopefully I can help you and teach you to change your mindset with just I like to show things. I'm a very visual person. And if I can do something visually to help you understand about mindset, then I think today's live will have been worth it. Okay. So this is what it is. I'm going to get up over here. I don't know how all the cameras are going to get it. Okay. YouTube is a little bit far down there. Okay. So can everybody see me? Right here. Okay. I have a double-edged sword. That's correct. This is my double-edged sword. A friend of mine, hey, Sydney, I don't know if you're watching, Sid, but my friend Sydney sent me this many years ago. It's a real double-edged sword. It's very sharp, okay? And it's from Pakistan, right? If you understand what a double-edged sword is and what it's used for, well, I don't know who invented it. I don't know who created it or how they came up with this. But eventually, I'm sure that the guys that used to fight with swords back in the days of sword fighting, they realized that if it's just sharpened on one side, and like I said, this one is pretty sharp. If it's just sharpened on one side, they can only do damage one way. But if they sharpen on both sides, damage could be done both ways, to the left and to the right. So a double-edged sword is like coronavirus. In fact, I had recorded a video because I was going to do these videos recorded instead of live. But I had recorded a video, which maybe I'll just put up later at a different time. But we actually wrote corona over here. Here's the thing. This is coronavirus. This is coronavirus to you, to your life, to your business. How you use it will depend on what damage you make. You see, if this is coronavirus and you, okay, go into forward battle with it, in other words, you are now going to chop at this boulder, this thing that's standing in front of your business, and you're going to chop it left, right, and center, okay? You're going to destroy it. Well, the mindset that is set with this corona will open up paths for you. If there's brush in front of you and you whack it down, well, corona become millionaires because of coronavirus. That depends on you. Are you going to be the one that uses corona to cut down, chop away, fight, and destroy what's in front of you? Or are you going to use corona do you get it? Do you understand? See, corona can be used either way. How are you going to use it? Are you going to pull corona close to you and help you sink your business, sink your life? Or are you going to use corona to move forward and open up paths? The decision is yours, folks. That's mindset. That is simple mindset. And how you use your mindset and how you make those decisions will depend on where your business will stand at the end of 2020. So, mindset is what I wanted to talk to you about today. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about I'm just wondering if I should tell you right now. Yes, let me tell you. So tomorrow, I'm going to tell you where the biggest mine is on the face of the earth. There's one mine, okay? It's a surprise, guys. If you see, the thing is, if I tell everybody, like I'm going to tell live tomorrow, what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to be rushing towards this mine. But you know what? This mine is infinite. This mine that very, very few people are actually running towards and mining riches out of is infinite. And people don't know that. And the problem is they don't even know it exists. So tomorrow, that's what I'm going to teach you. It's a mine that very few people know, very few people understand, but it's the mine with the greatest riches. Then the next live I'm going to do, I'm just going to tell the whole schedule right now. The next live I'm going to do, which is going to be on Wednesday, and I'll announce the time for that. Okay. So that's why, guys, if you don't subscribe, if you don't like, if you don't share, okay, you're not going to get the notifications, especially on YouTube. You know, you've got the little bell there and I know that there's very few people because I only have 13 subscribers in YouTube. So guys, please go to YouTube. I'm going to put in the comments, and I didn't have time because I was struggling with the technology here before I started, so I didn't have a chance to put in the links. But it's very easy. It's my name, Ozzie Simoes. You go on YouTube, you put in Ozzie Simoes. You'll find two pages. One of them is for one of my businesses. The other one is my face. Okay, that's the one you want to subscribe on. The one that only has 13 subscribers right now, and click subscribe, click the bell, and then what happens is you'll get the notifications when I'm going to go live and when I'm actually live. All right. So, and that's the same for Facebook. Go on to go. It's just for the taking. And then Instagram, same thing on my page there, on my Instagram, you know, page or feed, whatever. Then you're going to get the notifications every time that all I know is that there's people that are on Instagram that are Instagram fans, and they're not going to go to YouTube, and people that are on YouTube that won't go to Instagram. So I'm just telling you, on YouTube, the quality is going to be a little bit better there. And once I start sharing my screen, I'm going to get to the point that I'm going to start sharing my screen. And you're going to want to be on YouTube, because on Instagram, you can't really do that. Okay. So actually, YouTube is right here. All right. And today it's got the worst camera because I'm using it off my laptop. It didn't allow me to use one of the phones. But that's the thing, folks. Mindset is what I wanted you to understand today. Please share this live with as many people as you know, as many people as you have in your books. Look, I'm teaching this for small businesses, okay? But there are small business wannabes. Just because you have a friend that doesn't have a small business, he might be a small business, he or she might be a small business wannabe. And especially this book, okay, even though it's called a Small Business Destruction Guide, literally, if you want to start a small business and you read this book, you'll be ahead of just about any other small business owner, because you'll read about all the stuff that really destroys a business. You do the opposite. Okay, you follow the guidelines, the principles here, and you're going to be able to have a successful business. So I will see you tomorrow, folks. I think that's about it. There's nothing else I wanted to say. That is it for this live. I'm going to log off now. Please, if you have any questions as well, so very important, very, very important. If you have any questions, if you're a small business owner and you want me to talk about something, you want me to teach about something, you have questions about something, please let me know so that at least I can create content that I can be teaching as well. Eventually, I'm going to be teaching what you guys want to hear from me. Okay, but don't forget, if you don't change your mindset, you'll never change your life. You'll never change your business, and you're going to be stuck with the mindset that either was generated in you when you were small, okay, and certain circumstances, certain things, certain situations that may have created that mindset or set that mentality in you. And, eventually you got to break that. It's possible to break that, okay? So mindset is very, very important if you want to change your life, if you want to change your business, if you want to change anything, your marriage, your finances, your relationship with your kids, anything. I've had to work on that literally every day, all the time in my life, is check out my mindset, see where things are at, and change it when necessary and as necessary. Okay, folks, I'm so happy that I can't even see how many people are in here because, the numbers are like all over the show. But thank you for watching. And don't forget to please like, subscribe. Please don't forget to invite your friends, especially friends that are predominantly Portuguese or Spanish speaking. All right. And I'll be doing those lives starting tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll start those lives. And I will probably do I'll do the mindset thing together with the mine to teach people about the mine as well, okay, tomorrow. But that's in Portuguese and Spanish. So I kind of wanted to start this one so I could tell everybody. Guys, thank you so much for watching. and I will see you tomorrow. There's something that I want you to remember. This is my tagline. This is what I live by, and that is go. And go is obviously the name of my brand, what I'm kind of started working on creating past, since the beginning of the year. I'll tell you more about this as I go, about branding and stuff like that. But go is the name of my brand. Go, it's yours for the taking, because if you don't, somebody else will. And when you understand what that means, and if you stick with me, I'm going to not only explain to you, but I'm going to teach you about what it means to go. It's yours for the taking. If you don't, somebody else will. It's very simple.